right, hey there, South Mississippi. Meteorologist Taylor Graham here. Sorry about the delay. We had some technical issues with our graphic system for whatever reason, but hopefully everyone has had a wonderful Easter Sunday. Weather-wise, wasn't too bad today. It was kind of warm, kind of muggy outside, but all in all, a very spring-like day it felt like, with temperatures that were in the 80s. And we're really not going to be cooling off much at all tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at that forecast. Overnight tonight on the coast, we're likely going to stay in the low 70s. Now, if you live farther inland north of I-10, you're probably going to be in the upper 60s, even some mid 60s by early Monday morning. But we have some cloud cover in place. It's still breezy outside. And as you know, it's also kind of on the muggy side. So with that higher humidity, it's going to be more difficult for us to cool down overnight tonight into Monday morning. Temperatures right now still mainly in the low to mid 70s. It doesn't quite feel refreshing outside this evening with that higher humidity, and those clouds are preventing us from cooling down too much. We're at 75 in Gulfport with a dew point of 70. Now during the summer months we can see dew points in the upper 70s, so we're not quite to that level. But a dew point of 70 indicates to us that we have a decent amount of moisture in the air, and you can certainly feel it outside. And this high humidity will stick around tomorrow. Also got that brisk wind out of the southeast at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Looking at the bigger picture, we've got a cold front that is slowly getting closer to us across the state of Mississippi. But that area of low pressure to our north, that's going to stay to the north. Eventually, this front is going to be stalling to our north and west. Now, unfortunately, for a big portion of Illinois, it looks like Missouri, Arkansas, they've been dealing with severe weather today for their Easter Sunday. For us, we didn't have to deal with that, but it was breezy and humid. And as long as we are to the south of this boundary, it's going to stay that way, which, spoiler alert, it looks like it's going to stay warm and humid for quite some time. In fact, maybe even wrapping up the month of April, we are very likely going to see above average temperatures. But as for tomorrow and Tuesday, this front is not going to quite make its way through. It's going to stall to our north and west. So not only are we going to stay warm and humid, that front is also going to be a focal point for some hit or miss showers and storms. We have dew points right now in the upper 60s, low 70s, plenty of moisture in the air, and with that, it may help to spark a few more showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Now, not everyone is guaranteed to see rain tomorrow. I just want to put that out there. You may miss out on the rain tomorrow. You'll have another chance on Tuesday, but even then, it's not a guarantee. It really looks like these showers and thunderstorms tomorrow and Tuesday are going to be hit or miss. Now, that being said, I do think areas west of Highway 49 and also a little bit farther north across the Pine Belt have a better chance of seeing these showers and storms. I wouldn't rule out some heavy downpours within these thunderstorms. That's going to be possible. Before we start to see the rain develop, we will quickly warm up into the low to mid 80s tomorrow. The higher humidity may make it feel a little bit warmer than that. Notice here, this is up at 4:30 Futurecast, showing more of those showers and storms in Pearl River, Hancock County. Like I said, I do expect a greater chance of rain to the west of Highway 49 just because those areas are a little bit closer to that cold front. As we lose some of the daytime heating on Monday, I think rain chances will decrease a little bit, but early Tuesday morning we may have a few coastal showers. Tuesday afternoon, forecast models hinting at a slightly higher chance of a few more showers and thunderstorms. Again, not everyone's going to see that, but Tuesday is going to be one of the better days or better chances of seeing rain this upcoming week. By Wednesday, it's still going to be pretty muggy outside. We are going to be starting off in the 60s and 70s. We're going to be back in the low to mid 80s Wednesday afternoon. Rain chances will start to decrease once we head towards the end of the week. And the reason why is we're going to start to see a ridge of high pressure in the upper levels begin to build in a little bit more from the south. Now, rain chances don't diminish completely, but I do expect to see more sunshine by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this next upcoming weekend. And with more sunshine means more warmth. And along with that ridge of high pressure, we get some of that sinking air on top of us. that not only prevents some of those showers from developing, but anytime we get sinking air, that warms as it nears the surface. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this upcoming week, things are looking pretty toasty. These are high temperatures of forecast on the coast. Later this week, we're looking at highs in the mid-80s, which is above average for this time of the year. Even for the middle to end of April, our average high in Gulfport is right around 77, 78 later this week. So we are going to be above average. If you live farther inland, there's a decent chance you're going to be seeing the upper 80s by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it's also going to be humid. So that is going to make it feel a little bit warmer. Again, not quite what we get during the summer months, but it's kind of hinting that way by the end of April. Things are not going to be feeling as comfortable outside with those temperatures in the 80s and with that slightly higher humidity. So the overall pattern in the upper levels by the end of the week shows a ridge of high pressure building into the southeast, and I would even say too, parts in the Midwest at times by the end of the week and into the weekend. So with that, the Climate Prediction Center does anticipate warmer than average temperatures are going to be very likely across the middle part of the country, the south, and even along the eastern seaboard. Cooler than average temperatures associated with the trough, more so going to be expected along the west coast. But for us, looks like the last several days of April are going to be very warm. So if you are a summer lover, well, maybe just a tiny little taste of summer, I would say, by the end of the week, especially a little bit farther inland. And I say that because the humidity is still going to be fairly high, with dew points right around 70 or so. Now, just a heads up that in the summer months, we typically see dew points in the mid, maybe even upper 70s. So not quite to summer levels, but that's knocking on our doorstep. I was curious to look and see when we typically get our first 90-degree day in Gulfport based off of the records that we have. Now, over the past 3 years, that has happened in May, and that's closer to average, as I'm about to show you. In 2021, if you remember, we had a very stormy spring and summer that kept us a little bit on the cool side. So it wasn't until June 11th, it looks like, of 2021 that we were able to hit that 90-degree mark over in Gulfport. But in 2020, it happened as early as April 9th. So depending on the year, it could be in April, it could be in June, but generally speaking, it seems like May is the month where we typically have our first 90-degree day of the season of spring. On average, that comes out to be about May 24th, at least for the Gulfport area. Inland areas farther away from the cool water and the sound generally are able to reach 90 a little bit quicker in the year. Now, I don't have any 90s in the forecast at this time. Like I said, that usually does not happen until May, but it piqued my curiosity when I saw that things were going to be trending warmer by the end of the week, when we typically see that first 90-degree day on the coast. All in all, though, not a bad forecast. Hit or miss showers and storms possible today, or excuse me, tomorrow and on Tuesday. But things are going to be warm. They're going to be muggy. The weather not looking quite as nice as what we had last week, but not too bad. Your AC may be working a little bit harder because we're not going to be cooling off as much at night. We are anticipating low temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s, and those temperatures are going to quickly climb into the 80s once we get past the sunrises day in and day out. I will say the next weekend is going to be some of the warmer days that we've had so far this April, it seems like, with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Rain chances at this time are looking slim for this upcoming weekend, so if you have any plans, heads up on that. But you may be sweating a little bit more this next upcoming weekend with those mid 80s in the forecast. Rain chances will gradually decrease by the end of the week and into the weekend as well. So emphasizing though that tomorrow and on Tuesday, I can't guarantee that everybody is going to see rain, but Monday and Tuesday of this week, does have our best chance of seeing some hit or miss showers and thunderstorms. So I am going to go ahead and get ready for our 10 o'clock newscast tonight. Hopefully you can join me there for another look at your forecast this upcoming week. Plus we'll have the latest on our Easter weekend and what's been going on here along the coast, and some of the latest headlines to keep you in touch with all the latest news. So with that, I will be signing off. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your Easter Sunday.